Good morning, Wilson. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Caleb, and today is Tuesday, January 17th, 2023.
We are back with our extra long weekend due to Martin Luther King Day.
Speaking of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., let's cue to a special segment now created by Zoe and Bella.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day is coming up, and we are going to share 5 facts about him. My facts come from the Smithsonian website. Dr. King started university at 15 years old in 1944. Many black men were enlisted into war. Dr. King went to Morehouse College and he graduated at the age of 19 with a bachelor's in sociology. Dr. King led the 1955 bus boycott. Only in his 20s, he took the lead role in the boycott that lasted 385 days that all started with Rosa Parks, who refused to give up her bus seat to a white passenger in this movement. And his role gained him so much media attention that people threatened his house with bombings, and this all ended when the U.S. District Court ruled that racial segregation was not allowed on the Montgomery buses.
He survived an assassination attempt that happened on September 20th, 1958. He was at Blumstein's department store in Harlem for a book signing when a young woman by the name of Isola Ware Curry made the attempt.
King was arrested 29 times. His charges, which of many of them were dropped, ranged from civil disobedience to traffic violations. Learn about Dr. King. Thank you, Dr. King, for all that you have done on us. Let's cue back to our anchors.
I definitely didn't know all those facts about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Now, this Friday we also have a half day, but it's an important day for 2 reasons.
1, it's the end of the quarter, and 2, we are taking the reading NWEA test.
Make sure to eat a good breakfast, bring something to read or work on when finished. Most importantly, bring your charged Chromebook to school that day.
This week, students are also taking the NWEA test in their math classes.
For the NWA, remember it's a test that measures where you are in the area of math and reading. And your goal is to show growth and improve each time you take it.
That means take your time, give it your best effort, and really try to hear the passage and questions all the way through.
Our lunch for today is now showing on the screen.
Today, the Warrior Closet is open after school. You don't need an ID to shop, but it is helpful.
Good morning, Wilson. This past Monday, we had a day off because of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Today, I'm going to be showing students and teachers some quotes from Martin Luther King Jr., and I want to ask them what they think it means to them. What do you think this quote by Martin Luther King Jr. means?
First of all, I absolutely love Martin Luther King. He's a wonderful human being, and I'm proud to read a quote by him today and then talk about it. So his quote is, "Let no man pull you so low as to hate him." I love this because I always tell students that no one should make you feel any certain negative way. Don't give anyone the power, otherwise you're being their puppet. You are better than that. Just be the loving you, no matter how other people in the world around you might be. If they're being negative or mean, it doesn't mean you have to stoop to their level. So be you. Stand tall, stand proud, be kind, and don't worry about the others, what they are doing. Just be you. Do not let anyone pull you down so low as to become angry and negative like them. It's already, a challenging world, so be the sunshine in someone's life. Thank you.
Can you tell me what you think this Martin Luther King Jr. quote means?
Sure. The quote that I was given, it says, "We must remember that intelligence is not enough. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education." This is a quote by Dr. Martin Luther King, and I absolutely love this quote because even the best of students, you can be a straight A student, but if you're a not so nice person, it devalues the quality of your education. So what it's basically telling us is that you don't have to concentrate just on getting A's. You have to concentrate on what you put out there, what your character represents. So are you being a good human? Are you spreading positivity? Are you following the warrior way?
What do you think this quote by Martin Luther King Jr. means?
So the quote says, "We must learn to live together as brothers or perish together as fools." I think probably the easiest way to explain that quote is, maybe you've heard the expression, teamwork makes the dream work. Well, that's pretty much what that means. If we can all work together, we can accomplish so much. If we work individually, we don't stand to gain the way we would if we worked together as a team.
I like how you like describe that because I picked that quote because I really like that quote.
Awesome. Me too.
This quote by Martin Luther King Jr. means,
Well, the quote is, "We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope." What this quote means is there are things in life that are going to be disappointing, but don't give up hope, because there are other things that are going to happen to you that are going to be positive.
thank you. What do you think this quote by Martin Luther King Jr. means?
Well, first of all, this quote says, everybody can be great because anybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and verb agree to serve. You only need a heart full of grace, a soul generated by love. I like this quote because it has an English reference, and being an English teacher, I can relate. But most importantly, it basically says when everybody can be great, it doesn't matter who you are. Everybody has the potential to be great. It doesn't matter if you have a college degree. Your education doesn't determine your success in life. It means that if you have a full heart, if you are kind and loving, you will make a difference. And that is what is going to serve the world.
I think you worded that well. Thank you. What do you think this quote by Martin Luther King Jr. means?
Hate is too great a burden to bear, I've decided to love. I think that means that life is way too short for you to go through life ignorant. You need to accept others, understand that just because someone's different than you doesn't mean that they're less than you. And you should love everyone because at the end of the day, nobody's perfect and we all need to get along.
Thank you. What do you think this quote by Martin Luther King Jr. means?
Well, hi, let me read the quote too, so I can read the quote and make sure I understand it. Whatever affects one directly affects us all indirectly. Wow, that is a really good quote. I think this might mean that we have to realize when we say something, not only are we just saying it to that person, but others might hear and be affected by what we've said. So we have to always be very conscious of how we're treating others, things that we're saying to others, because not only is it just affecting that person, but then that person might carry the weight of whatever you've said to whoever they meet, right? And then whoever they meet, and so on and so on. So words have power. We're always saying that in ELA, but they really do. Words and actions. So we have to be very, very conscious of honoring others and respecting others, because that goes on and gets carried on and on and on.
I think that has a big part to play in the school. Thank you so much. You're welcome. What do you think this quote by Martin Luther King Jr. means?
We must use time creatively in the knowledge that the time is always right to do right. I think it means that you just gotta know when to be nice and kind to people, and know when you have to stand up for yourself and kind of step out a bit.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What do you think this quote by Martin Luther King Jr. means?
I think it means that you should listen to your heart.
All right, thank you. What do you think this quote by Martin Luther King Jr. means?
I think it means that we always have to think ahead and, just keep our heads forward and keep pushing through the day.
All right, thank you. Now back to the anchors.
We know these announcements are for the students, but any student wanting to show with their parents, there is a free virtual parenting workshop and mental health on Tuesday, January 31st. If your parents would like to check it out, they can scan the QR code on the screen.
There is only one birthday today. Happy birthday, Natalie.
Some kids also celebrate their birthdays during the weekend and yesterday.
Happy belated birthday to Kira, Lucas, Sidley, Adriana, Alejandro, Dakota, Angelo, and Antonio.
Well, that's all for the day.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.